This is one of the most heartbreaking stories I've ever heard. This good boy swam for hours and hours to try to find his owner after a boating accident, but he just ended up exhausted and all alone in the end. Departing from Fort Pierce Inlet in Florida, a father and his two dogs jumped into the water off a bridge to cool down. The man had no idea this would be the last time he'd ever see his furry best friends alive. A witness said the man was shirtless and holding a life jacket as he waited for his two dogs to get back to the boat after playing in the water. But after a while, both dogs disappeared under the water and never came back up. The man quickly realized they had drowned. So he immediately jumped into the water to try to save them. But when he went to go get them, that's when he saw the heartbreaking scene. One of the dogs had managed to get himself upright on the nose of the capsized boat and was desperately trying to keep himself upright, so he did undrown. Unfortunately, the man had to make the heartbreaking decision to leave the dog on the boat and swim to shore to call for help. Because the dog would have been able to fit in the life jacket. As bystanders watched on, the man began performing mouth-to-nose resuscitation on the dog. Sadly, there was nothing he could do. The dog was already gone. Witnesses say the man was inconsolable and kept saying, "I should have known. I should have known," before breaking down and crying. The man lost his best friend, and there was nothing he could do about it. But what people didn't realize was that the other dog, the one that didn't make it onto the boat, had actually been swimming around looking for help. And he had been swimming for hours until he finally got picked up by a Coast Guard vessel. An official from the Brevard County Fire Rescue Department said the dog was tired and unresponsive when they pulled him out of the water, and believe it or not, he still had a life jacket on. The official also confirmed that the dog had been swimming in circles for at least an hour before they finally got him. And witnesses on the scene said the dog had been swimming non-stop for at least 3 hours. At this point, it was clear that the poor guy was exhausted and in shock. So the firefighters tried their best to resuscitate him and get him back to his owner. But sadly, after all their efforts, the dog was pronounced dead at the scene. It's truly amazing that this dog managed to swim for hours and hours in the hopes of finding his owner. But sadly, the story has a tragic ending. After the incident, the man who had been trying to save his dogs was taken back to shore by another boat and was treated for exhaustion. But other than that, he was unharmed. He was then reunited with his other dog, the one that had been in the boat. But he was too upset to even take the dog home. Instead, the dog stayed with firefighters until the next day, when the owner could come back and collect him. It's really sad that the man had to make that choice, but I am sure he knew that his other dog would have wanted him to move on and be okay. What's even more heartbreaking is that this is the second time this man has lost a dog in a boating accident. Just 3 years ago, he lost his other dog, a chocolate lab named Bear, after he fell off the same boat. The man jumped into the water after him, but sadly he was unable to save his best friend. In an interview with a local news station, the man said he wasn't sure how it happened, but 1 minute Bear was there and the next he was gone.
Okay.
He said he will never stop looking for him and will never give up hope of finding him. And now this has happened again. My heart goes out to this man.
Hey.
Losing a dog is hard enough, but losing two in such similar circumstances would be devastating. Rest in peace, good boys. You'll be reunited with your owner one day. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.